Hey everybody on YouTube, it's been a hot minute since I've been on here, but I am moved and settled back in down here in Georgia, so I had to take a few weeks to organize that, but hello! I'm enjoying some honey lemon ginseng green tea. Oh, delicious. And I'm here, I am pumped to start a new series. This will be a month-long series called Fertility February. Hashtag Fertility February. So basically, I'm starting this series because I want to be like the YouTube evangelist of the fertility awareness method. I want to spread the good word about this method that has revolutionized my understanding of how my own body works and how my cycle works. It's revolutionized my understanding of my health, both my fertility health, but also my overall health. It's revolutionized my relationship to my body, my relationship to my partner. It's been so empowering, and I want to spread the word because it's a shame and it's so frustrating, and it makes me angry to think that I didn't understand truly how my menstrual cycle worked until I was 29 years old. And 29 years old was just a few months ago because I just turned 30. In a nutshell, and I'll include in the description box below a longer video in which I go over all the bumps in the road and the trials and tribulations and the journey that eventually led me to the fertility awareness method. So I'll have that video pop up in one of these corners, but also it'll be in the description below, and I highly recommend checking out that video if you want to hear my story. But basically, I was raised in small town rural Kentucky. There was a church on every corner. A Christian group came into our public high school to teach us abstinence-only sex education, meaning they misinformed us, and it was just wrong on so many levels. So anything related to my sexual health, my sexual identity, my options for birth control, I basically had to teach myself through the internet. Thank God I was born in the time of the internet. Through talking to friends and people who are more experienced than me, through talking to health professionals and things like that. So if I can help it, I don't want anyone on the planet to have to go that long without fully understanding how their body works, especially if that person has a uterus and menstruates regularly and has to be conscious about fertility and reproduction and things like that. So I'm here to spread the word and empower people and inform people so that people can truly make informed decisions. In the video that I'll link below that I mentioned, I definitely go into more details about why I had to stop taking hormonal birth control and how my body was reacting to it and how it made me miserable, and eventually the long winding road that led me to this method. So, what is the fertility awareness method? Let me put my tea down and pick up this book. This is basically the Bible of the fertility awareness method, Taking Charge of Your Fertility by Tony Weschler. And if you want to find out how to enter to win your very own copy of this book, stick around to the end of the video, okay? So, Tony Weschler, in her introduction, says, fertility awareness is simply a means of understanding human reproduction. It's based on the observation and charting of scientifically proven fertility signs that determine whether or not a woman, I would say a person, is fertile on any given day. The three primary fertility signs are cervical fluid, waking temperature, and cervical position, and this last one being an additional sign that simply corroborates the first two. The fertility awareness method is an empowering method of both natural birth control and pregnancy achievement as well as an excellent tool for assessing gynecological problems and understanding your body. That's it in a nutshell. It is a method of learning the rhythms of your own cycles and how your body works so that you can either prevent pregnancy, achieve pregnancy, or just get to know your body and your overall health. So, in this series, I have lots of videos planned throughout the month of February, all of them having to do with the fertility awareness method. I think the next video I'm going to do later on, early next week, will be what I think are the top 3 myths surrounding the method. I really want to interview my partner, and I've asked him and he's totally okay with it, so you'll get to see my partner, and I want him to talk about how he too has benefited from this method and how our relationship has benefited from this method. I want to talk about free online resources that I've found that have helped me as I have begun to learn about and practice this method, especially early on. I'm on cycle 9 right now of using this method successfully to prevent pregnancy, by the way. I want to share my own chart and kind of go through the basic charting methods and your options for charting. So lots of really cool stuff is on the way, and I'm so excited to spread the word about this method. But before we get into how the giveaway is going to work, yay! Let's go over some, I don't want to call them rules, but maybe parameters of what you can expect from me throughout this series and what I can expect from you. Just 2 things. Rules, ground rules, parameters, whatever you want to call them. Number 1, this is a discrimination-free zone, so that means I will not perpetuate and I will not tolerate anything like transphobia, anything like misogyny or patriarchy or racism or anything like that. If I see that in the comments, the comment will be deleted and the person will be blocked because ain't nobody got time for that shit. So this is a discrimination-free zone where people who are interested in this method for whatever reason can maybe learn a thing or two from me, or at the very least hear about my experience as someone who uses the method, right? And number 2, I want to be very, very clear that I am not a health professional. I'm not a naturopathic doctor. I'm not a nurse or a nurse practitioner. I'm not a gynecologist. I've never formally studied medicine. And I am not a professional licensed coach for the fertility awareness method. I've never been formally trained. I am just someone who has successfully used the method for 9, almost 10 cycles, and who just wants other people to know about it so that people can make informed decisions about their birth control methods and their overall health. So that being said, I will not go into all the rules and the specifics about the method because I don't want anyone to walk away from the series with the impression that you can just watch a couple of YouTube videos and totally get it and be able to practice it correctly. That's a dangerous misunderstanding. I didn't really feel 100% confident with my abilities to precisely use this method until after I had been using it and practicing and charting it for 4 months or 4 cycles. So it takes time. It really takes dedication and responsibility and discipline. And you really need to educate yourself by reading this book. This is the one that I would recommend. But there's lots of online resources that I'm going to talk about in a later video here in the coming weeks, but really I don't want anyone to think that they can just watch a few YouTube videos or read a couple of blog posts and think, oh, I can do that, and then they wind up accidentally pregnant. And an accidental pregnancy at the wrong time in your life can ruin your life. So please, don't expect me to go over the nitty-gritty about the method, because I'm not going to go over the nitty-gritty, because you really need to seek out that information and educate yourself. And even if you feel like it and if you have the resources, hire a professional fertility awareness coach, someone who could teach it to you, someone who can go over your charts and look at your own rhythms and the information that you're collecting about yourself, and who can help you navigate this process. So yeah, that being said, let's talk about the giveaway. Alright, so let's talk about the giveaway, the fun part. Yay! So the only thing I'm asking you to do in order to enter into the giveaway is, for one thing, live within the United States. I'm sorry everybody who lives internationally, I really am, but I'm a poor grad student and I just can't afford international shipping right now. So I'm so sorry. I promise when I talk about free online resources, I'm going to try to find resources in countries like England and Australia and wherever else I might have viewers, so that you can be pointed in the right direction to find out about the method in your local area. But although I'm sure this book can be found, at least in the English-speaking world, unfortunately, I don't think there's a translation for this book in Spanish. I did look, and that's a shame. But in the English-speaking world, you should be able to get your hands on a copy. But for those in the continental United States, all you have to do is comment below in this video, this introduction video, only this one, and say something about why you're interested in the method. And if you're not comfortable with sharing personal details or anything, all you have to do is say, I'm interested in this method. I'm interested in what my options are. Something very vague and general like that. Or you can go into detail, like I do in the video I mentioned, which is linked in the description box below, where I do go into detail about how I came across this method and why it's changed my life. So yeah, all you have to do is comment on this video, say whatever you feel comfortable in saying about why you're interested in this method, why you want to learn more about this method, and your name will be put into a pot, and at the end of the month I'll do a little drawing to see who's won their very own copy of this book. So yes, I'm so excited. I'm so excited to spread the word about this method. If you want to spread the word, just remember #FertilityFebruary. I will be talking about this a little bit more and sharing my videos more on my Facebook page. But if you do decide to spread the word, #FertilityFebruary, make sure you give credit where credit is due and redirect people back to me so that they can see the source.